doesn't have to be evening. Hello. I'm going to share with you my the trip that Sue and I took to Glacier Park this year. If you don't know where Glacier Park is, here's a map of the United States with Montana. Glacier Park is in this upper corner, and this is a map of Glacier Park. Entering from the West Glacier, coming from the airport, and going to the Sun Road, goes all the way through the park, and was depicted on this map are the places that we stayed. And on the way in, we stopped at the Backslope Brewery for lunch, and we enjoyed some nice brews and some burgers. And this is when we were waiting for our table outside. And you can scan the code here and find out what they have available. Our first stop was at the Lake McDonald Lodge. Lake McDonald is the largest lake in the park. We stayed in one of the cabins at the park here, at the lodge. This is the interior of the lobby. Very classic architecture. I'm sitting in the Ingle Nook. Those that know me that know the significance of that large hearth. And that evening we took a boat ride on Lake McDonald. We skipped dinner because we had a big lunch. And so this boat cruises the lake, and we took this cruise. And this is the cabin we stayed in. Our room was right over here, right to the right behind my head. And we had breakfast the next morning and then went to Avalanche Lake. We had some difficulty with the shuttle bus service. We had to wait, and we figured it was going to take us a few hours before we'd actually be able to catch the shuttle, because they only had 2 spots on every bus that came to stop there, and we had a lot of people ahead of us. And fortunately, we had a trail angel, someone that was a local that was also waiting for the bus, but decided to give that up and gave 3 of us, my wife and I and one other person, a ride to the trailhead for Avalanche Lake. When we got there, we went on the Trail of the Cedars. This is part of this trail. You can see the large trees there, really pretty. And has this creek that runs through it, and then we made it to Avalanche Lake. And ironically, Avalanche Lake is at the bottom of runoff from up above there, where you see the waterfalls coming down. The next day we'll be going up to Sperry, and Sperry Glacier in its melt runs off into Avalanche Lake. So pretty cool. Here's more pictures of some selfies of us at Avalanche Lake. And we hiked to the other shore, because the shore where you first come into the lake, everyone was crowded there. So we found some nice spots where we were it was less crowded. The trail to after you leave Trail of Cedars was really crowded. It was like the most crowded trail I've ever been on ever. And so that's, if you're looking for some solitary times, that trail is not it. Everyone seems to go on that trail. Some more shots of the area with the lake and the end of the trail. And thus we are using our Sue had gotten us these chairs. They're little backpacking chairs. They unfold. You sit low to the ground, but it's very comfortable. You could sit wherever you are. You could sit. Um, Here we're waiting for a shuttle bus. We did take the shuttle bus back. We waited about a half an hour and got a shuttle bus back to Lake McDonald and enjoyed a nice brew when we got back. So my plan was to carry wine up to the chalets so that I could have wine. We can't drink the alcoholic beverages inside the chalet itself at dinner, but we could have it out beforehand. So I bought these containers so I don't have to take all this glass. And since the last time we were up at Glacier Park was 2015, I decided to bring a 2015 Rubicon. And this is our dinner the night before we left. And we're getting ready to depart. Gonna leave McDonald. And we're at the trailhead for the Sperry chalet. This is my confirmation email. So we're on the trip. You can see Lake McDonald below us, back in the background. We have to cross the creek. And this is a 6.5 mile hike. Once you reach the big falls that are along the hike, you can look up and you can see the Sperry Chalet above you, but you still have quite a ways to go before you get to it. And more of the trail, you can see Sperry Chalet above us. Some bear grass along the way, and some locals. So, or a local, 2 shots of a local. This is mountain goats. They're indigenous to the park, and they love to hang around the Sperry Chalet. So you'll see lots of mountain goats. And this is the trail or bridge we had to cross. And then we had to wait because coming down was some people on horseback. And some more goats. And this is a picture of the Sperry Chalet. And one of the reasons, I'd say the main reason that we wanted to come back to Sperry was that Sperry had burnt down in 2016 and gutted it, leaving just a shell, and they rebuilt it. Here's pictures of Sperry Chalet, the dormitory, after the fire. So the interior burnt down, and the stone structure, the outside walls remain, and they propped them up and then rebuilt it over a course of a couple of years. And this is the back end of it. You can see the old beds, everything, the whole inside, everything was a total loss. And this is rebuilt. There we go. And this is the view back from the chalet back down towards Lake McDonald. If you can make out the blue, then you can see the lake. Sitting out front, the typical, when we've come here before, everyone sits out on the rocks overlooking the view. We started to do that, but it was a very cool and windy day, so the wind made it kind of unpleasant, so we went inside. This is the back of the dining room. This is our room. We somehow ended up with a ADA room, and I don't know how you have an ADA room on a 6.5 mile hike up. It's all uphill, but the interior. This is Sue's resting after our hike up. So we had a room with a queen size bed and a single bed. And, looking inside. I'm inside our room, looking from our room outside. And we were enjoying the Rubicon that I brought up. So it was heavy, but it was worth it. Some views from the chalet. So you can see with this picture where our room is located, uh, the room with the fire, and then after being rebuilt. And we had a nice, really nice room. It had a corner room, and it had windows on two sides overlooking with a nice view. So that was a beautiful room we had. GNR is not Glacier National because the R wouldn't be park. It's the Great Northern Railroad who built the chalets and many of the lodges in the park, most of them. Some more views. Dinner. Some of our visitors for the evening. And views back down to Lake McDonald. You see the goats outside our window right on the side and all in the back. And we had some other visitors, some deer. And then breakfast before we went up to Sperry Glacier. We're hiking up, and you can't see in the picture on the right is that's a marmot, if you can make them out. There's another picture with the marmot in there. You know, with many waterfalls. And we're coming up this, we just came up this steep grade, one way up. Another waterfall, more views. And more marmots. So there's a lot of marmots. We're heading on this, you see, overlooking this, on the left side, we're overlooking the, where we just came up, and then on the right is the beginnings of Como Pass. This is a cleft in the rock that they put stairs in, and yes, that is a garden hose, and it's a way of getting up there. It's very, our guide felt that this was the most dangerous part of the hike. We thought crossing the snowfields was more dangerous, but she thought this was. You can look up. Oh, there's a marmot again, greeting us. So you can look up. It's pretty steep and pretty far up, but you had these stairs. They're uneven stairs, and the garden hose to hold on to. And that's me starting up there. The guide is actually behind me. The person behind me on the left, that's the guide. And we got to the top. And nice views here. Sue crossing just above this waterfall. This is, I think, one of the more dangerous parts too. You can see that it's it's a drop off, so you have to be careful not to slip. If you're going to fall, you want to fall in the lake, not down the waterfall. And our guide is one in the light blue shirt, and she's very vigilant, watching, make sure everyone gets across safely. So we had to go over these snow fields, and snow fields on on an incline is what we felt was more dangerous. Sue is in the back just before the gentleman in the blue shirt, who was the husband of our guide, and he was making sure everyone made it. More snowfields to cross. Maybe. So we made it to Sperry Glacier. When Sperry discovered the glacier, he actually climbed up from Avalanche Lake with his group to find the glacier. They later decided to it would be an easier route to go the way that the trail was eventually made. And here's the glacier. And the glacier. And this, we found these flowers growing directly out of the rock. It was amazing. And then under the picture, we have the all-present marmot. And we made it back safely. And breakfast the next morning before our hike back. Getting ready to go on our hike. This is our classic picture we take each time of us at the in front of the dining room, just ready to leave for the our hike out. And picture of Sue in the our trail signs. And on the way down, the glacier or the chalet is serviced by pack mules that bring the food up, food and supplies, and then they cart out the garbage, the waste from the chalet. Now, this is not a picture I took, but on our way back, we did have a bear encounter. There was at least two, if not three, and they appear to have been grizzly bears. I was coming down the trail, and the bear was about 25, 30 feet ahead of me, and very curious on what kind of animal was coming down the trail. We slowly backed out, and the bears ended up going up the hill. In the meantime, some other hikers were coming down the trail, and Sue just held up the bear spray container, and everyone stopped. So that was kind of funny. So we got back down again. It was time for another brewski, and we ate our lunch when we got down to the bottom instead of eating on the trail on the way down. Sue cooled her heels in the lake, and then we made our way, drove to Mini Glacier. This is Mini Glacier Hotel. It's the largest lodge in the park, and it's in the prettiest part of the park, I believe. And before dinner, it was time for another drink. Seems like all we do is eat and drink and hike, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Dinner. And my original plans was to take the boat ride across Slip Current Lake, which is the lake right behind us on this one picture on the left. And then you walk over a short distance, about a quarter mile, to the next lake, next boat, and take it to beyond. And originally, we were going to take the Grinnell Glacier hike, and we decided that we didn't need to over stress ourselves with too much hike, so we just decided to go to Grinnell Lake, which was more of a flat trail. To get there, we have to go across the water. I'm right to keep in crossing the river. 等等等啊，等到他了，他下来，他们转头找他的快快快那个，你再等不住你。 And me, I don't know what happened to the video of me crossing it, just as a still shot.
Oh, right.
No, you're not. So we get to the lake, and we pull out our hiking chairs and kind of relax there. Picture. So up the falls is at the top of that would be the Grinnell Glacier. You can't see it in this picture; it's way up there, but that's the runoff from the glacier. Pictures of the lake.
Very different. I don't know.
And then we had to cross this other bridge, and it said one person traffic, and then when we got to the other side, we found out why it was kind of having some damage. So we were fortunate that we didn't fall in. And then we get back to the where to pick up the boat, and the captain from the boat that took us there in the first place was there. Didn't expect that. The boat broke down, so we decided just to hike back to Many Glacier. You can see Many Glacier hotel across the lake of Swift Current Lake from the trail we're on. And we're back to the lobby here, the Many Glacier Hotel. And I had brought a second bottle of wine, but I decided with the weight of the wine we took up to Sperry, I wasn't going to do the same thing for the Granite Park Chalet, so we just drank it in the lobby in styrofoam cups. View outside the hotel of the surrounding beautiful splendor. And then dinner. So with the trouble we had with the shuttle at just getting the Avalanche, my original plan was to take the Many Glacier Red Bus shuttle from Many Glacier Hotel to St. Mary's, and then take the park shuttle up to Logan Pass. But I decided that we would just drive. We have a car, why not drive? But the Logan Pass parking lot tends to fill up soon after 7 a.m. So we left Many Glacier Hotel before 6, got there just before 7, and the parking lot was already about half full. So we did get a parking spot, and then we started the trail. It was very cold. Logan Pass is the highest place on the Growing to the Sun Road, highest point, and it was very cold getting started, but we warmed up in our hiking. And we hiked the Highline Trail. This is the Highline Trail. It's a 7.5-mile hike from Logan Pass to Granite Park Chalet. It's in most places it's steep going up and steep going down. So this is what we got to hike. Waterfall on the way. And we met some other deer on the trail. And the picture that's on the left-hand side, you can see where this is the trail, you go up this to get, and you go beyond that too, it's called the Haystack. And we met some mountain goats on this hike as well. and some more deer. The people in front of us on the trail were stopped by this deer, and they didn't know what to do, how to get around it. And I said, you just start walking. They don't want to deal with you, and we eventually got by them. Let's see the trail line. And you can see in the picture on the right the Granite Park Chalet. There we go. We made it to Granite Park. So the picture on the right is the main chalet with where the dining room is on the bottom floor, and then there's the annex chalets. We were on in one of the annex chalets. In number 19. And this is a lot more rugged than the Sperry. We had a very small room, stone floor, log walls, very small bunk beds, and I gave Sue the bottom bunk and I took the top bunk. And you have to hang your packs on the wall so that the critters, mice and so forth, don't get into your pack. All the food has to be left in the kitchen, and you know, picture looking outside the door, picture from my top bunk looking out the window. And you can see where we are in our beds, just messing around. Yeah, both Sperry Chalet and Granite Park Chalet, there's no electricity, so you have to bring. You notice that we have headlights hanging on our pole on our beds. Those are flashlights, headlights. That's the only way. Picture on the left is the Swift Current Pass fire lookout, seen from the bottom. And if you see, there's a little darker spot on the far right of that picture. That's their outhouse. And the picture on the right side of the screen is our outhouse, pit toilets. So you have to prepare your own meals at Granite Park. At Sperry, they prepare all the meals for you, including lunch, making you a bag lunch. We decided the easiest way for us to do it is to bring backpacking meals. We had some from our backpacking days, and these backpacking meals are good for 30 years, so they were still good, and they were good. And breakfast the next morning, oatmeal, coffee. And so at the each of these at Sperry, we got the workshop of going to the hike to the glacier. At Granite Park Chalet, our workshop was a painting workshop. So here we are practicing some color wheels and such, and learning how to use watercolor. This was the scene that I was painting. So on the left, it's the natural scene that's from where my seating was, and then my pencil line drawing of what I was looking at, and then here's my finished painting. So we saw some more deer. Sue decided not to do the afternoon painting workshop, I went and did it. So she sat in the back behind the chalets and was looking for wildlife, and she found some. So she had a bear experience as well. The bear ran um, over the hill that she was sitting in front of and ran up the trail. Both bear pictures, we didn't have time to get our cameras out or felt safe doing so. So this is something I just took off the internet. And this is the hill that the bear ran up over. And if you look on the picture on the right, if you below the rocks, you see it's the bear. That dark speck, that's the bear. And we took it from far, far away. And dinner that night was more backpacking meals. And then our pictures on our way to leave, going back. We went. Some people continue on the trail and go down to the loop. That's a 4 mile trail, but then we would have had to catch the shuttle bus. And I said, no, we're going to we'll go hike back to Highline and get back to our car. So just getting ready to leave. And we made it back. We stopped at the St. Mary's Lodge and had some beer and chips and hummus as a snack. And made it back to the mini glacier where we stayed again. This is another couple of views of the lobby and the new old spiral staircase. The original layout of the lobby had this spiral staircase, which was replaced in 1955, and they decided to put it back again. So it's a beautiful staircase. Dinner. And some views of Mini Glacier area outside of the back of our. We had a little bit of a balcony in the back. The morning rise. They bring the horses in for the trail rides in the morning, and they walk right behind where our room was. I got some pictures of that. Point over Swift Current Lake. Breakfast. Swift Current Lake, Point, the big mountain on the left in the back, that's Mount Gould. The pointy peak on the right hand side, that's Swift Current Pass. Different pass. Gould. Mount Gould, by the way, is part of the Garden Wall. So that makes up the this on this side of this area. That's the Continental Divide. I failed to tell you that the Highline Trail is basically hiking the other side of this on the Continental Divide. Mount Wilbur. The lobby again, and it was cocktail time. We're up at Logan Pass here. Little panoramic view. More deer in the back. So we decided to take this little hike with this ranger. He's a naturalist ranger. We went and looked at the moose over at Fisher Cap Lake. And then we left the park, and this is our last day. The day before our last day, we get to West Glacier, and we stayed at the third of the remaining chalets that were built by the Great Northern Railroad. This one was the Belton Chalet is actually the oldest. It was built in 1910. And if you see the heart on the door to our room, we were in the honeymoon suite. This is our room. Had a clawfoot bathtub. We didn't use it. And then a porch. A view. This is like the rec room downstairs. And there's two large suites. They're separate buildings, the Clark and the Lewis. So Lewis and Clark, yeah, the explorers. Dinner at the dining room of the Belton Chalet. And dessert. The end. Hope you enjoyed.